now we have somewhat of a decision to make here. I had quite a few different stops and adventures planned northbound, but this being my first and possibly only trip to the Arctic Circle, I don't want to push it too late and then not have enough time to experience things there. So we're thinking about speeding things up a little bit and then maybe crossing off some of these ones on the way back home. That being said, I'm not sure what our route is southbound, so I want to make sure to check off some of the key Cassiar ones while we're here. Brought the truck in here as far as we could, but that still leaves me about 20 or 30 kilometers of biking to get to today's destination, which is the unfinished section of British Columbia Railway. They attempted to put in a section of rail line here to access the north. They laid the entire grade, put in a bridge over the Stikine, and then never laid a single section of rail. The bridge is still there spanning over the Stikine, and the only way to get there is to run up the river or ride in on the old rail grade. It's a beautiful rainy day today. Perfect day for a ride on the electronic bicycle. The whole drive in here is actually quite spectacular. Planning to film it a lot more on the way back out. But on the bike, 3 minutes into it, I can feel gonna be quite muddy today. But this isn't a beauty contest, it's an adventure show. So let's just accept the fact that my face is probably gonna have some mud on it today. Get past it and enjoy it. We actually took the truck all the way to, well, the other side of the first bridge. I'll show you when we get there, but a couple of these sections are a little bit sketchy. Pretty washed out. Just wide enough for the dually. Ran into an old timer on the way in here, and he said, ooh, that truck's not gonna make it across the bridge. And I did believe him, but then I get here, I see bridge limit 15 ton. I'm only 6 ton. I took a look underneath it. Great big I-beams, good wood condition on the deck. I stopped actually just back there, walked all the way across, and I thought, frick, this bridge is no problem at all for the truck. So I went for it, drove all the way to the end to realize that he was talking about this. And realistically, I think I could have done it with the truck, but being as far out here as we are, it's not really worth the risk, because if I get stuck right there, well, basically I just live there. But the plan was to come over here and camp on this side. Emmy could man the fort for any furry visitors, Sasquatch, and I could go exploring on the e-bike. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible, but we found her a nice little camping spot. Wow, the river's so high right now. That's crazy. Beautiful spot over here though. Didn't expect to be seeing a sign back here. Not that it says anything that I'm looking for. Unless... no. Well, I think this is the old rail grade, and we'll be heading that way. Either way, we'll see where she goes. Today's adventure plan is pretty basic. Heavy focus on battery conservation. Anyone out there thinking about getting an e-bike, look at the range and divide it in half. That's what you're gonna get on a typical ride, if you're lucky. The rig has been through some tight spots in the past. When I was planning the trip in here, I didn't realize the bridge was gonna be washed out. I thought I was gonna push the truck down the rail grade as far as possible. Not sure if it would have been doable. I mean, anything is doable, it just depends how much you want to abuse your rig and chop. A little bit of both is always fun, but a lot prefer to avoid. I did bring the bear spray, of course, and the bear gun, which hopefully will never need to be used. But we do have what looks to be a pretty recent bear going through. The rain's washed it down a little bit, so it's not like he was here and I scared him off, but close by anyways. A lot of people don't like bears, but you see, the thing about a bear, they don't really like visitors. As a matter of fact, they don't even like to visit. When I'm in dense bear territory, I just let them know I'm around and they basically just leave you alone. Hey bear! Whoa bear! Hey bear! Bear! Can I get a whoa bear? Whoa bear! Watch the trail up here. I just came across a cow and a young bull moose. There's the bull, just coming out. Of course, the GoPro's not gonna catch it very well at all. Don't know a whole lot about moose, so I'm not sure if that bull is young and still with mom. But what I do know is they are incredibly aggressive. More people die a year from moose attacks than bear attacks. So I'm gonna keep my distance from this guy. Something I like about an adventure like this, just get out to places where basically no one gets to see. So beautiful out here. I did see those two moose, and I keep doing my bear calls because of, well, bears. But this is prime moose habitat in here. It would be cool to kind of sneak up on one, get a nice shot with the good camera. Lots of these little swamps and marshes all alongside the rail grade. Pretty nice spot to camp here. I did run into a local this morning, asked if we were in the area grizzly bear hunting. I'm guessing somebody this far back, that's probably what they're going for. And I'm wondering what's happened here. The rail grade is washed out, but I did see a path, a turnoff a little bit further back. Hasn't really been raining much, but I don't know where all this water's coming from. We stayed a couple nights at a big lake up the road, and it rose about a foot in the 2 days we were there. Look at this. Just crazy high. It doesn't really look like it's flooded a lot in previous years. You'd see remnants from it. Maybe something strange happening this year. There we go. Quick little bit of 4x4 locomotive and we're back to hauling freight. Battery conservation objective gets a big fat check mark. We're at 80% and we are here. Wow. Very cool. Well, may as well ride across it. Couple of facts about myself. First of all, completely soaked right now. Secondly, not much of a heights guy. To be totally honest with you. Well, look at that iron. Can you believe that? So much time, money, effort went into this thing just to sit out here. Basically forgotten. I got one hot lead last year about this, and been asking around this year. Ended up meeting one person that gave me some decent directions. Otherwise, nobody even seems to know that it's out here. Those big cement structures right down into the Stikine River. I'll get over here for a closer look. Okay, that's close enough. You just can't purchase fun like that. But whilst there's a break in the rain, I should probably fly the drone. This whole area out here is just exceptionally beautiful. I've got the drone 250 meters up, looking back the direction I came, and you can see that rail grade just snaking through the valley below. And you can tell where it goes because of all the alders and poplar trees, just like a green road going through the forest. And then spin around, you can see that train trestle crossing the Stikine River. And I'm gonna have to do some looking on the map. I actually didn't even look to see what river this is coming in here, but you can see it going into the muddy water. Must be a lot of runoff coming down right now. I've never seen the Stikine so dirty. Usually it's a nice beautiful green. Made the decision of bringing the full waterproof bag today. I'm happy I did, because looking back towards camp, it looks like I'll be dealing with some rain. I love exploring old things like this. The manpower that went into putting this whole grade and bridge and everything in here, just to get left behind, it just fascinates me. Look at how flooded it is here. Those rivers are basically connected through the forest. Better than a wildfire, that's for sure. Well, there you have it. The old train trestle bridge. I guess we've seen it all. Time to mosey back to camp. Before we go, I want to try and just fly across this thing. The motor kicks out if there's too much impact. So every time I hit one of those separations, it's kicking the motor out. I got to get up to a good enough speed where I can hop over them. I think I can do it. That was pretty awesome. Didn't even think to look down at my speed, but probably got close to 30 miles an hour. Whew. Oh, Take a look at the size of the mitts on this guy. Yep, seen it before. 20-toe black bear right there. Can you believe I was gone all those hours and nobody even stole that camera? Talk about a win. Double good news, we're almost back to camp. Bit of a sloppy, wet mess here, but what an adventure. Did run out of battery on the e-bike on the way home, but that's okay. Tomorrow we can mosey a little closer to civilization.
People in the valley, they don't understand what makes and takes the breaks and forsakes a man.
This road is 28 kilometers of unmaintained roughness, but it goes through some beautiful terrain. But keep in mind, this is Taltan territory, so if you're coming in, make sure you get permission on somewhere to stay. One of the locals helped us find a spot to call home for the night. But we're looking forward to getting out and finding a beautiful river or a lake tonight.
Miss mountain sky, tell me why do I have to try so hard to get by? I've been eking out, seeking out, just scraping as I go. Tell me, how did I hit this all-time low? Take me nailing to this mountain sky is my only truth.
Well, I think that was the slowest 28 kilometers of the season so far, but that's okay because we've officially made it. Good thing too, because I'm running low on fuel. Next stop, Dease Lake, so I can forfeit my entire life savings for the ridiculous price of northern British Columbia fuel. Just rolling through the quaint little village of Iskit. Don't plan to get anything here, but I am going to stop and check the price of fuel. Diesel $2.18. Not too bad actually. Just rolling into Dease Lake. We might backtrack a little bit to find our camp spot for the night. Passed a couple of buttes on the way in, but we do need to come here for supplies. 226. Should have filled up in Iskit. Dang it. We're all supplies up. We're gonna grab fuel on the way through tomorrow. But there's one little lead I'd like to check out while we're here in Dease Lake. Can't find any more information about it, but I have basic directions on how to find it. Similar to my hometown of Williams Lake, Dease Lake is named because it is situated on the Lake of Dease. And I think we have found what we're looking for. Did you see a fish jump? Maybe. Here we are at the beautiful Dease Lake. I wish I knew this was here before. I would have certainly made a stop upon prior visits. Unfortunately, we can't camp here, but it sure is awfully nice. But what brings me down to this neck of the woods is, I think maybe this building or maybe the one up here. but it is the original Hudson's Bay trading post. And if you know anything about North America history, there is some colorful stories that come with Hudson's Bay Trading Company. But regardless of that, it is a reality that they did help build the infrastructure of our country today. A lot of these towns and settlements, villages, they're only here because Hudson Bay Trading Company came in and set up forts, trading posts. Very cool. For the age of this, I'm actually quite surprised with the condition. I can't imagine this has gone in under any type of restoration, but clearly someone's been taking care of it. If I was to make a guess, I would say that this building is also part of the old trading post. Anyways, when you have an opportunity to come see a neat old piece of history, you can't pass it up. Look at that. What a view. I'm guessing it's all private property, so I can't really take much of a closer look. Probably should take a closer look at this riv over here though. Just a couple quick casts, that's it.
I haven't been recording for the whole time.
I know.
Sorry.
That's okay. I haven't caught a fish yet. I mean, yeah, you missed my big fish I caught. Dease Lake, world-class fishing location. Not one fish in the whole joint.
Done?
Well, picked the wrong fly. I told you just a couple quick casts. That's all I needed. I just couldn't bypass this riv without firing a couple laser beams into it. Okie dokie, third change of plans for the day. I think we're gonna go to the end of Dease Lake and see if we can find a camp spot on the lake. But we spied something on the way in here that needs exploring. It's a little too late in the day to pull it off today, but tomorrow it's gonna happen.
What's there to hold in the light of this moon? My mind keeps searching, but my heart decides.
Found ourselves somewhat of an exceptional camp spot right here on the side of Dease Lake. It's actually a wreck site, which is why I've not stopped in here before. But can you believe, heat of the travel season, we're basically the only ones here. There's a few things that I want to check off while we're around Dease Lake, a couple of which are particular to the trip we're doing this season. But we're running out of room in this week's episode, so I'm going to meet you guys right back here next week. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Destination Adventure, everybody. As always, take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints, and I'll catch you on the next one.